everyone, and welcome to Live Bird TV. So it's been a tough 24 hours, for all of us. We've had to take the shit on social media off people that are not even in the Champions League, which is even more, kind of infuriating and even more laughable considering some of the state of the clubs of people that are laughing at us. But I've actually had a good few hours to think about exactly what's going wrong and why I actually think there's a way that yesterday can be used as a positive and can be used as something sort of like using the summer to our sort of to our benefit. And what I mean by that is, if we'd have won yesterday, say 2-0, 3-0, possibly then gone and won over the two legs and gone through and carried on with this run, and maybe just stormed our way into the top four. We've been here before. We've been here before with FSG, where if it ain't broke, it's a kind of mechanism is we don't really need to fix it, and Klopp needs to take a little bit of the side blame for that as well, because when you're nearly winning quadruples, you're not really you're not in a rush to go and spend a stupid amount of money. So when I said earlier, get on my video tonight at 7, because I actually think that yesterday's result will actually be good for us, because it will show FSG now that we really, 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 really need them to spend in the summer. Now, I don't mean Todd Boehly kind of panic buying and going and throwing stupid money here, there and everywhere. We'll have targets. We'll have targets that Klopp, has on his list. So, for example, Jude Bellingham number 1, Mason Mount number 2, and then you've got obviously, what's his name, Nunez from Wolves number 3. And what I'm liking about what I'm hearing is basically we're probably going to have to need to buy all 3 of them. So a lot of people say, will Jude Bellingham come to Liverpool if we're not in the Champions League? But I would sort of counteract that. He knows he's going to walk straight into the team. He knows he's going to play with his mates who he plays with at England, like Jordan Henderson, Trent Alexander-Arnold. So he's got all that. And also Jurgen Klopp is an infectious character and manager. And also the Real Madrid links. Listen, Real Madrid, he could go to in 4 or 5 years' time if he wanted to leave Liverpool. So it makes more sense. It is a perfect signing for John Henry as well, because he likes assets, which is understandable, that maybe if it doesn't work out, or it does work out really well, we can double our money, triple our money and reinvest, which is exactly what we did with Virgil van Dijk and Alisson coming in for Coutinho, who we bought for 8 million, we sold for 147. So it is what it is. And basically what I'm thinking is Liverpool now haven't got the storming run to the end of the season. We finish top 4 and we get to a Champions League final and we win it or we lose it. They haven't got that option now, more or less, because Liverpool are now going to be able to. They're going to be able to basically. Klopp's going to be able to play his hand. He's going to be able to say, look, this is how far behind, we are. Real Madrid, last year we gave them everything. We played them in a final this year. Look at the difference. We're getting beaten by them. So Klopp can he can have that now, where he can sort of say to John Henry, look, we haven't nearly done a quadruple. We haven't got to a Champions League final. We're really struggling. We're 9th in the league, 8th in the league. And if you don't back me now, then we're going to lose shitloads of money. Now, you've got to remember that people that don't that want FSG, that think FSG won't invest, it's a load of nonsense, because if they don't invest this summer, then their sellable asset becomes less. It becomes less. They can't ask for as much money each season it goes by. So if Liverpool go from being in Champions League finals to winning Premier Leagues to joint top in the Premier League to then being in the European Conference League, and the value drops and FSG lose money. Now from next season we're going to have Anfield at 61,000, right? Because the Anfield Road end will be built. We're going to have more revenue coming in. So they've also got that added bonus of the extra 9,000. I think it's 9,000 seats in it, 7,000 seats. So they've got that as well. So I actually think what's going to happen is, I read out a few weeks ago, for those of you who actually watched the video, I read out the piece from the executive director, or he was one of the big bosses at Dortmund, and he said the worst thing that Dortmund did was they got rid of Klopp rather than getting rid of the players. They should have got rid of every player before they got rid of Jurgen. Because what's happened is Jurgen's then gone to Liverpool, and everybody knows what's happened since. You know, Jurgen's then gone and built this amazing Liverpool side, and it's been amazing, and he's done everything he could have done. And if it wasn't for, you know, the 115 charges Manchester City have been, you know, sort of found, you know, what been charged with, then you could even argue the fact that he could have won even more. But what I'm saying to you is what I think Klopp's going to do now is he's going to do what he didn't get to do at Dortmund. So this summer, he's going to walk in to Kirby, he's going to walk into Kirby, and I think he's going to treat that squad that he has got like he did the squad that he inherited in October 2015. I actually think he's going to go, he's not going to think about past loyalties, he's not going to think about anything, he's going to, what I call, reset. He's going to hit the reset button, and he's going to literally go, right, James Milner, you're going to be the under-23 manager, you're going to be a coach of the under-18s, thanks for your service, but if you want to play, then you're going to have to leave. You're going to have to go maybe to Leeds, or you're going to have to go somewhere else if you want to carry on playing. That's your decision. I'll leave that with you. Next one, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, you've got no future at the club. Thank you for your time here at Liverpool. You're free to go. Naby Keita, you've refused to sign a new contract. You've not been a great signing. Thanks for your service. Good to go. And the domino effect will carry on. If somebody comes in, say Al Nassr at Ronaldo's playing for, and bangs in 30-40 million for Fabinho, sell Fabinho, use that money to reinvest. But not just that, I think the 250 million mark is around about the minimum we will spend in the summer. Now, you can be as FSG out as you want, right? There's nothing you can be proven with until this summer. So save your banners, save your constant statuses, and you're trending on Facebook, you're trending on Twitter, right? Save that and stop doing every single supporter's heads in every time we lose, right? Save it until you can get the proof, right? Because you can't get the proof that you're right until the summer. So stop doing the Liverpool fans' heads in. Because at the end of the day, a Liverpool fan today rang up TalkSport and he absolutely nailed every single FSG outer and every single Klopp outer straight away. He said there was 2 callers before me that were calling for Klopp to go. I will tell you right now, they're sat in white fronts on their settee with a pack of 6 Pepsis and a tube of Pringles that have never been inside Anfield, never mind set foot in Liverpool, right? And he's right. These people that are calling for all this change, they're nowhere near going to be anywhere near going to start this campaign they think they're going to get, because it's the people like the Spy and Cop 1907, Spirit of Shankly, and the lads that go week in, week out that are the voices. Now, if there's lads that I know that go week in, week out screaming at me, Neil, you're wrong, FSG need to go, then I'd be with them, because they're the people, they're the ears on the ground, they're the people that know. But I'm the same. I've seen the club, I've been to many games, I've seen it. And I know that the only reason why we haven't invested to the level that's needed in the summer is because we haven't needed to. We've been lucky with, you know, we've won titles, won Champions Leagues, got to Champions League finals, nearly done quadruples. So it's basically, you know, it's just basically, I mean, I'm going off my point here a little bit, but it's basically now being forced on them. And just reading your comment there, Max, I'm not saying all people who don't live in Liverpool are plastics. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that most of the people that are calling for Klopp to go and that are calling for FSG to go, most of the people, I don't mean everyone, most of them, they wouldn't even know their arse from their elbow. They wouldn't even know what's going on. They wouldn't even know about the 2 stands being built. They wouldn't even know about fucking the training ground being extended. I understand that the FSG out brigade, right, some of them just want Liverpool to invest in the summer. But that's what I want. That's what everybody wants. So what we're trying to say is, it isn't FSG out, it's FSG sort it out. And John Henry said it in his statement. He said, are Liverpool for sale? No. Are we seeking investment? Yes. Do I think investment's going to happen? Yes. So, and I know that we're going to have to spend big in the summer. So what I'm saying to you is put all that to the side, right? Because it's not going to, whether we lose the next 10 in a row, your banners are not going to get out. Nothing's going to change, because every Liverpool fan that does go to games that I know, I've got friends there that are working at the club as we speak. I've got mates there at chief stewards, deputy chief stewards, people that have been in that club for 20 years, I know. And they are all saying what I am saying. FSG need to sort it out. Jamie Carragher's saying the same thing. And that's why, because they know, they do believe they will do. They believe that they will sort it this summer, because they respect FSG for saving the club. They respect FSG for bringing in the best players that we've got. They respect FSG for signing all the contracts of our best players over the years to the tune of hundreds of millions, which again, fans don't ever take into consideration the amount of money it costs to extend Alisson's contract, for Van Dijk's contract, Robertson's contract, Fabinho's contract, Salah's contract. You know, they don't count the 30 million sort of that costs for every 4 to 5 year deal. But what I'm saying to you is what is the point? Yesterday, when we lost the game, all of a sudden it became our owner's fault. If it's about us having an aging team, Real Madrid's team's older than ours, right? You've got Modric and fucking Benzema. They're older than fucking Henderson and Fabinho and all that. It's about the way we play. They play counter-attack, right? Real Madrid, they play counter-attack. Liverpool don't. Liverpool's Klopp's way is all about energy. So you can't have 30-year-olds, 32-year-olds, 33-year-olds in the midfield. You need young legs. You need people with pressing energy. You need people that are going to run like fuck. So Jude Bellingham fits that perfectly. So does Matheus Nunes. And obviously, if we get the lad from Chelsea, Mason Mount, he can run a bit as well. So all I'm saying is we want Liverpool to invest in the summer, but it just gets tiring when every single time Liverpool lose, these people come out. You don't hear them when Liverpool are winning. They just go away. You don't even see Hughes contributing to the group. You never see them talking about, oh, I'll tell you what, I like that starting 11, or what a goal that was from Nunes, or I'll tell you what, how good was Harvey Elliott today. You never see these people contributing. You just see them. As soon as Liverpool lose, they're out. They're out like fucking parasites. They're everywhere. They just grow. It's like a cancer. They just spread. And that's what pisses me off. If you are sitting here not wanting FSG to sort it out, then you're not wanting Liverpool to be all on the same hymn sheet. You're not wanting Liverpool to be like we were a couple of years ago, which is Klopp's the best manager in the world, the owners are brilliant, Liverpool's building a new part of the stadium, we're signing good players, Salah's coming, Firmino's coming in, we're winning trophies, brilliant. If you just want them out, you're not even putting into consideration who you want in. You just want oil money, you just want a Middle East company, you just want a Todd Bowley. Look at Todd Bowley at Chelsea, he's a complete fucking lunatic. 600 million blown, they've not even got a striker. So my point is this, and my point will always be this: we have to just get behind Klopp, right? There's nothing we can do from now until the end of the season. We can't sign players, we can't bring anybody in. There's no point going backwards. We can't sign players in January because January's gone, right? We just have to get behind Klopp, and we have to just keep going and keep going and keep going. Come the summer, I know that the people that are wanting FSG out, that I can see this happening. If we don't get Jude Bellingham because we've been priced out of it, say for 140 million they asked for, and we go and spend 90 million, say on Nico Barella from Inter Milan, you'll get people putting FSG out because they wanted Bellingham. You'll get people that are so spoiled if it's Bellingham or no one. And do you know what? These are the people that basically, if we went and blown 140 million on Jude Bellingham and he just ends up being not great for us, there's 140 million down the drain. Obviously, I don't think he will be. But my point is this, is we can't become what Hughes want us to be, which is like Chelsea, which is just throwing money without a single thought of it. I mean, Chelsea have signed, I think, three or four left attacking midfielders and 3 or 4 right attacking midfielders. They've got 4 players for 2 positions. In each position, 8 players for 2 positions. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just stupid, and we don't need to do that. There's a list of targets that Jurgen's got: Matheus Nunes, Jude Bellingham, and just say that Mason Mount's the third one. If we bring in all three of them, get Navigator off the wage bill, get obviously, even Curtis Jones can go out on loan for a season or whatever, it doesn't matter. Get Oxlade-Chamberlain off the wage bill, James Milner off the wage bill, or not, or he moving into a coaching role. Do that, then we have to just do it in phases. We can't go out and spend ridiculous money like Chelsea, but I still think we'll spend 200 million minimum. I really do. But this is the point I want to make, which is what the lad who goes to games week in week out made today on Talk Sport, right? And I'm using Chelsea as an example, Max, and we know you're FSG out, so you're the one who can consistently keeps commenting while I'm trying to do this live, because we know that you're just one of them. You're one of them. There'll probably be nothing they can do in the summer that will please you. I'm not asking us to be like Chelsea. I'm saying we don't need to rush like Chelsea. And I'm going to repeat what I was just about to say, right? The lad that ran TalkSport today, the Scouse lad that ran TalkSport today, said Liverpool fans that go to the games week in, week out, could probably accept Liverpool scraping 4th position this year and next year and not win any trophies. If it takes 2 years, but we can see Klopp building his next team, we'll take that. So what they're saying is spoilt brats, the fan base that want us to be like, just bringing in hundreds of millions of pounds worth of players and want instant success. This was his words, by the way. These fans that just want instant success, we don't care what they think, because the true fan base, the ones that were behind them lads yesterday, right, that didn't even boo them when they got beat 5-2, that fan base are preparing themselves for maybe 12 to 24 months of shit, more or less, of scraping top 4, and just because it's not going to happen overnight. Even if we go and sign 4, 5, 6 players in the summer, just like Chelsea have done, even Forest, it takes time to bed them in. So you're probably going to look at a season before you start seeing Klopp's new team taking shape. So you're probably looking at this season and next season as a write-off. So if we can scrape top 4 this season and scrape top 4 next season and then go and build, right? That's what that lad's saying, right? Because guess what? We do not have a divine right to win Champions Leagues and league titles and FA Cups and League Cups. We are in the best league in the world, and there is 5, 6, 7 teams that can win them every season in our league, right? That's just the way it is. We're going through a transition, right? Yeah, we could have done this last season. Last season we nearly did a quadruple, so there wasn't much of a rush, was there? This season we've been found out to going to be a year too late. We've got a year too late. Klopp's held his hands up. FSG have held their hands up. What's the problem? Wait until the summer, right? Because in the summer, like I've said, and I've said it on many videos before, I'm the same as yous. I want Liverpool to invest heavily, right? So we agree on that. The difference is if they go and do that FSG, that doesn't mean we want them thrown out the back door like they're a piece of shit to save the fucking football club. You need to start remembering that. Look at Anfield yesterday from the bird's eye view looking down on the Champions League game. Look at what Anfield is now because of them owners. They've made mistakes, but they're not perfect owners. But the fact is, if they go and spend 250 to 300 million this summer, right, button it. No more FSG out. Get behind the team. Get behind Jurgen Klopp for the next 2 or 3 seasons and get behind the club. You can't keep spitting your dummy out, because what happens if you get what you want, FSG sell the club and new owners come in? What are you going to do? Call for them to go if we have a bad run and the manager's doing shit? What is it? Get them out next? It's pathetic. We can't change owners every time yous can't handle losing a couple of games, and you can't handle it. That's why you put Klopp out. That's why you put FSG out, because you can't handle losing football matches because you think Liverpool should win every single fucking game and win every single trophy. Well, guess what? That's not the way it works. It's not the way football works. It never has been and never will be. Look at Manchester United, a club that went and won everything for 20 odd years. They are really, they've spent $1 billion and they're only now just starting to have a little bit of a run. Look at the waste of players and talent that's come through their door. We will not do that. I believe we have the best people like FSG and Klopp to get us into the next turn of events and get us into the next turn of trophies. And like the lad said today, the fans that give a shit, the fans that really, don't throw their toys out their pram and demand people that never put the shirt on again and get out of our club, get out. I mean, that guy today that said, get out, Jurgen Klopp, we want you gone. Honestly, he'll get chinned if he goes to Anfield. Somebody will lamp him, and well deserved as well, right? Them people are the ones that have got a problem, not us. We can see Liverpool need rebuilding, but the difference is we've got what you haven't got, which is patience. If we have to wait a season or two for Klopp to build his next team, then we'll wait. We'll wait, that's it. Because we believe that the people in place at the club are the right people. And like I say, come the summer, we'll know whether that's the case or not. So what I'm going to say is, we're going to walk through this storm with the gaffer, which is what I put on this video. I'm going to get behind the lads, as I always do. As soon as I pass my driving test, I'll be at Anfield as much as I can, even though I live in Scotland. The point is, all I'm saying to you is we all need to pull together. Yes, we need investment. Every flipping man, even Stevie Wonder can see we need investment. But we can't get these players until the summer, right? Jude Bellingham, that you've all been wanting. I said this when it happened. Borussia Dortmund do not sell two major players in the same window. The minute Erling Haaland went to Man City, we more or less were told to wait a season for Jude, right? So you're giving FSG shit for not spending the money, but you can't kidnap these players and stick them in the boot of your car and drive them to Liverpool. You have to wait until the club are prepared to sell. And Dortmund are run by the fans, and the fans have that clause which says we do not sell two top players in the same window, and they don't like selling in January because they've got to try and finish in the European spaces for the next season. So that's all it is. So all I'm going to say is get behind the lads. Crystal Palace Saturday night is going to be a tough game. It's a little bit of a bogey team. I know we won there 7-0 a couple of seasons back, but we need to just go again. Really, really go again and get behind the lads. Whether you're FSG out, whether you're FSG in, whether you're FSG sort it out, there's nothing we can do until the summer. So just drop it. Changing your profile picture to FSG out is embarrassing. Do you really think that people go, well, do you know what, he's changed his profile picture, that means they're going to leave now? Do you really think that he sits in Boston thinking, shit, I better sell the club now because Dave has changed his profile picture to FSG out? I've told you, the only time FSG will be forced out the club will be the same way that George Gillette and Hicks were forced out the club. When the Scouts population and the people of Liverpool turn on them, right? I've got friends in the city, my family live in the city, I know the people of the city. The minute that happens, I can assure you there'll be videos that I will be doing to notify you of up and coming protests and all that. But the fact is, you're absolutely millions of miles away from that ever happening, because Liverpool fans appreciate John Henry for his honesty, saying he needs investment, saying he needs a bit of help. We appreciate what he's done for the club. We appreciate the £267 million worth of debt that he cleared on the day of getting them Cowboys out of our club. We appreciate the iconic main stand you can see from all across the city, including over the water at the Wirral. We appreciate the amazing new Anfield Road end that he's built, the £60 million training ground that has got the next batch of youngsters like Bajcetic coming through. Right, so until I hear my friends that go week in, week out telling me, Neil, you need to start spreading this, we need to get these out, right, I'm going to always believe in what I believe in, which is the same as what they believe in. FSG and Klopp will sort Liverpool out and we will be back. So if you want to be in the 5%, because that's what it is, 5% of you that want them out, then set your own group up. Stop coming on to the fans groups that, like ourselves, that we just want to talk about players, transfers, ins and outs, and we don't try and be active board members. I'm sick to death of it. It does me head in. I'm sick to death of every time Liverpool lose. I'm not even getting angry now about Chelsea fans giving me shit, Everton fans giving me shit. I'm getting angry about our own fans giving us shit, right? Just because they can't handle Liverpool losing, right? We have just lost to the 14 times European champions, right, with 2 Ballon d'Or winners in their team, right? We lost, right? It was 2-2 at half time. We were poor second half. It happens. So what do? Get rid of Klopp? Get rid of the owners because we've lost the football match? Or do we dust ourselves down, get ready for Crystal Palace on Saturday and go again? That's what Spy and Cop are doing. That's what the Spirit of Shankly are doing. That's what my mates will be doing. That's what I will be doing. And that's what all the fans that want what's best for this football club will do. Now, that doesn't mean that because we want FSG to get it right, that we don't want no one to come in the summer. That's nonsense. We do. But by giving them the support rather than the vile hatred, right, that you want to do, and the protests and be embarrassing like Man United, you know, yellow and green scarves out one week, you know, when you've lost 3 in a row, but then soon as you're winning, you don't hear the Glazers out anymore. It's embarrassing. Parasites, that's what they are. Look at Arsenal. Arsenal were marching outside the ground to get Kroenke and all that out, right? Marching outside the ground, they went and got Arteta. They then back. They went and sport a few players. Do you hear Kroenke out now? You don't hear Kroenke out anymore. But the point is we don't need to do that. Manchester United fans burgled their own fucking stadium last season. Burgled their own stadium, kicked the doors off their own stadium, snorted cocaine off their flagpoles, right? Burgled their own stadium, attacked our team bus, right? All because they couldn't handle not being Man United anymore and not winning trophies. It's pathetic, right? At the end of the day, right, we will get it right. We have the best manager in the world, doesn't need to cheat to win trophies, and we have owners that don't panic. Todd Boehly panicked. Todd Boehly was like a kid in a sweet shop. Todd Boehly was like a football manager operator, and all he did was go, here we go, I'm getting this lad. Do you know who the fuck spends 600 million and forgets to buy a centre forward? It's embarrassing. We haven't gone out and spent the money that you want us to spend because Klopp has them list of targets. His top 3 targets will be Bellingham, Núñez, and possibly, hopefully, another midfielder, you know. But if they're his targets, he'll wait. Here's a classic example before I go and answer some of your questions. Luis Diaz was supposed to sign for Liverpool in the summer, right? The summer. Liverpool moved quicker because he was going to go to Tottenham. So, do you think that Liverpool would have signed Jude Bellingham last year if he was available? My answer to that is yes, they would. Why do you think they didn't? Because he wasn't available until this year. So if it's FSG being tight and not buying Bellingham, why hasn't Real Madrid bought him? Why hasn't Man City bought him? Maybe because they know what Liverpool know, which is he isn't for sale until this summer. So they're waiting for their targets rather than bowing to pressure from fans that haven't got a clue. Yeah, that's my point. So there's probably a reason why everybody's waiting to bid for Jude, but no one's put a bid in for him. Why? Because they've probably been told by Borussia Dortmund that basically he's not available. So it is what it is, and I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, right? We cannot sign anybody until the summer. And here's a message to you fans that like to say Klopp out and FSG out. Please start your own group. Look at this channel I've created, Live a Bird TV, right? It's dead simple. Create FSG out, right? Create your own campaign. Get your own profile pictures out. But stop going on our pages and just depressing us, because that's all you do. It's sore enough when we lose a game without it being everyone's fault but the 11 players on the pitch. Yesterday we lost a game of football to one of the best teams ever in the history of football, right? So, was it John Emery's fault that we didn't defend the 3rd goal? Was it John Emery's fault that Alisson decided to fucking pass it rather than boot it long? Was it his fault? Well, it wasn't, was it? Are you telling me that if we didn't make them poor decisions in the game that we couldn't have won yesterday? So the team was good enough to win the match. We just didn't win the match. That's the players' fault. The players take some fucking responsibility. Stop blaming it on people in Boston that are thousands of miles away, right? That can't do nothing until the summer anyway. So if you're going to contribute to a fan group, contribute on the players, on tactics, on football, because that is what you're supposed to speak about anyway. Football. Not fucking being the next principal director of fucking FSG, like everybody tries to be, and giving spreadsheets on this and tally charts on, well, look at Everton. Everton has spent more than us. Everton haven't won a trophy since fucking 1995. But hang about, they've got better owners apparently. So it is what it is. So it just gets my back up. Is there any questions before I end this live? Because it's my day off tomorrow and I want to chill out. And Max, like I said, I'm just going to read this out. I just want what's best for the club, Neil. FSG have just very much disengaged the last few years and left Billy Hogan to take the reins. Here you go. Look, you know Billy Hogan. I mean, who really cares about Billy Hogan? Do I care about Billy Hogan? Do you know what? If you'd have asked me who he was, I probably wouldn't even know, because I don't care, right? I don't care. I care about Jurgen Klopp, I care about the players, I care about the team, I care about the next set of fixtures, right? And they'll just read the rest of what you're saying. It would be nice to have owners more invested in the project rather than just fattening the club up to sell. Fattening the club up to sell. Even though they have just said the club is not for sale. But they're so greedy that they're not prepared to take the money. Anyway, Max, we know you're an FSG outer. We know you just love talking about chief execs and why you haven't got what you wanted and why you haven't got your £150 million spent in January and your 200 million in the summer and why you can't win the European Cup every year and why you can't win the league every year and why you can't handle Liverpool losing, right? Start your own channel. Start your own group. Because as fans want FSG to invest, but we don't cry about it like little babies and we don't blame yesterday's poor errors, defensive errors, on our owners. We blame it on the players that we pay a lot of money for each week. You know, like the £75 million defender that Jamie Carragher put in his place yesterday. Virgil van Dijk needs to take some responsibility. So does Henderson. So does all the players that we pay a shitload of money for, right? Sometimes you have to look at the management team and the players and then invest in the summer to make them better. Klopp has always said this. It starts and ends with me. I am the manager. Why do you think he apologises to the away end? He does need more support. He'll get that in the summer. But let's not keep blaming everything. You cannot change owners like a bad striker every time we lose a couple of games. If we win our 2 games in hand, we're a point behind Tottenham. A point. So we're not as bad as everybody thinks, right? We've got to make sure we put Real Madrid out of our minds now. It happens, and carry on the run in the league, and I believe we will. And in the summer, if Jurgen Klopp gets the backing we all want, then all I'm saying is all of this shit needs to stop now, because I am sick, and so is everybody else, by the way, sick to the back teeth of fans that cannot handle form going down and possibly then back up again. Because fans like myself that was in the piss down rain at Stoke when we were 5-0 down at half time and lost the game 6-1, and fans like others that I know that was going through the days of Roy Hodgson and going through the days of when we couldn't even finish mid-table some of the time, we 40 points behind the title people, they're the ones that understand that form is temporary and class is permanent. We will be back, we will come again. So if you want to talk politics, spreadsheets, ownership, transfers out, net spend, go and bore somebody else. Because all I want to do now is concentrate on Liverpool's next game, which is Palace. Get behind the team, even from Scotland. I'll cheer them to the cows come home. My friends who are going to the games, the ones that be watching this video, keep doing what you're doing. Keep cheering the boys on. Jurgen will get it right. We will be back. You'll never walk alone.